dragon!
The dragon god Et has returned to its sacred vessel. Legend has it that while in its vessel, that's when the dragon god's power is greatest, and weakest when it takes to raging wing. So if it has a true form, you see it now before you. And here is our village's divine relic, Dracadios, Lance of the Dragon God.
'Twas rusty and worn, but now it almost gleams.
So dragons aren't just magical beasts. They're a manifestation of pure Magla. My sister's...
You all had the right of it. All these tragic calamities, they are not born of the Dragon God's wrath.
Then maybe they arose from the temple's melancholia. Perhaps that human was the source.
'Tis not the first time. Thinking back on it now, a human has always been at the heart.
You think humans are what's causing all of this?
No, I don't think that's quite it. Something about that monster. The way it instinctively tried to shield its eyes and ears. It was as if we faced the living past of the Mustari people itself. The Mustari reject the world beyond ours, lost and comforted by ignorance. And in adversity, it is our God we cling to as cause and answer to our suffering. Maybe we have only ourselves to blame. A self-inflicted madness. Our hearts are the source of Magla, of magic arts. Even this new power, this archetype that has awakened within me. Another. I did not know this one existed.
If this mural had been lost until now, then... This paints quite a different picture of the priestess. She looks to be fighting.
You suppose this is the truth of the priestess's duty? I mean, offering her life to quell the calamity threatening the village. Maybe that's what it meant all along.
It had always seemed odd that the Dragon God dwelled within a lance, of all things. Not a sealed urn, but a weapon. My brother often wondered about it. We were wrong. No, we did not even think to question.
You would have died in the name of an era of semantics. The world has not been kind to you, girl.
No. On the contrary, I feel I've been saved. I finally see my path laid before me. So thank you. Let us return now to the village. You said you had business with the Lance when all this had settled down, did you not?
Yes, but I doubt you'll want to let go of it after all that. We have to figure that out.
I cannot simply relinquish it, but perhaps instead...
What was that?
Surely not. The human from the altar? How has it not perished?
I heard it enter the water. This channel leads straight to the ocean, if it seeks prey to regain its strength.
Then it can only be headed for the village.
Damned beast! So much for taking it slow on the way back. After it!
Someone, please!
Monster! A monster in our village!
I hear screaming. It's gotta be here.
You lot came back! We honestly... Ha! Looks like the little lady made it out, eh?
Of course! But more importantly...
Right. We've got a human on the hunt. Del's helping the villagers get to higher ground.
Truly? I'd not have expected it of him.
That's Fidelio through and through, isn't it?
I am Euphausia, the priestess. Thank you for helping with the evacuation. Here on we shall...
Oh, priestess! It's the priestess!
Lady Yufa, please save us. What don't you lot get about evacuate? You want to live? Do as you're told.
Priestess? What happened to the ritual? What of the dragon god's wrath?
Did you even perform the rite? Oh, this is a disaster. How can we survive now?
The dragon god Et is here as our guardian deity.
Don't worry, you'll get your ritual. The real one, that is. The ritual that's been buried for hundreds of years.
As the priestess, on my life, I will drive back this calamity.
Hold on now. You're not actually gonna fight, are you?
Basilio, where's the monster?
So be it. We end this here!
We can do this! It is time I put the truth to our teachings and rituals. I stand anew. I stand with you.
I thought we already finished this guy. Guess he's a stubborn one.
This calls for one of these.
It's okay. I won't hold back! Wind!
Everyone is counting on me. I can do this. Heed me!
Observe the enemy. Magic Knight! I'll destroy you!
Let's try this.
I will fight with Vitus power.
Even my... Here I go! It is your turn! That did nothing?
Kidding me? That didn't do a thing!
Trivial.
For all that we strive for! You assist?
It didn't affect them!
I can't afford to hold
Careful.
back.
Strike attacks won't phase them.
Are you prepared? Not now. This calls for one of these. Impossible!
You can't let your anxieties win now! Come on!
This is
Stroll's
terrible.
anxious, and they're targeting him! Looks like we can't brute force through this one.
Let's go. Ah!
Everyone is... I can do this. Come forth now. This won't work.
It didn't affect them!
By the sworn oath of knighthood. Oh, power of heroes! Twas
Are you kidding
ineffective.
me? That didn't do a thing!
Now, what's the play? Could do with this.
It's okay. We'll do this together! Maybe there's a better choice.
Are you kidding me? That didn't do
This
a
is...
thing!
I ask for your aid. I shall rethink this. I shall use this. That was
Attack was
ineffective?
nullified?
With blade in hand! I
The
they're
attack was
unfazed!
nullified?
I shall fight as the noble I am. Here!
Let's stay calm. Vitus power! Scour!
Are you kidding me? That didn't do a thing!
Let us combine our powers.
Let me help!
It is your turn!
I stand ready! Allies, together!
All right, let's go!
I will protect you!
Thanks.
I can't afford to hold back. What a mess. Let's make an end of it! Not the right move. Hut! This is doing nothing!
It didn't affect them! Stroll's
Coin
anxiety
can
is
solve
spiking.
problems. I'm all prepared.
Keep the enemies off him!
Not this. Let's go! Win!
This is the power said to belong to a priest. I must concentrate. Come forth now! I'm sorry, everyone.
Stroll's anxiety is spiking. Keep the enemies off him!
Magic Knight! Shatter
The attack was nullified? Hulkenberg's fighting her anxiety.
Spare me.
Keep the enemies off her.
I will fight with come forth, Royal Soul! A tough one. We're doomed.
The captain's anxiety is overwhelming him.
If we all
We can't let him get
together.
hit.
We'll team up!
It is your turn! That
The
did
attack
nothing?
was nullified?
Will
The
this
captain's
even work?
fighting his anxiety and they're targeting him.
Keep it together, Strong.
I'm only a burden.
Stroll's anxiety is spiking. Keep the enemies off him.
Magic Knight! Pierce through them!
This is for the future of the Mastari! Fall!
Not bad. Not bad at all.
I shall rise to the occasion.
I continue to grow.
Excellent!
I am most certainly stronger than I was.
Right. That's the end of that.
Everyone, once again, thank you so much.
What a spectacle! To think I could have evacuated and missed the performance. Yufa, that power.
It must be the same power wielded by priestesses of old. My rescuers helped me realize that.
You mean to say sacrifice was never the intent of the ritual?
The priestess offers her life in service, not sacrifice. She takes up arms and faces the scourge. That is why our relic is a lance.
A mural on the altar suggested as much. It's likely the murals of this village don't actually depict sacrifice either.
You saw what was inside the temple? What was it? Something the church would rather keep buried? Some other mystical relic?
A relic? Hardly. We saw a ruined city of the old world. Evidence of a history before our own. Small wonder the clergy can't send their monks. Anyone who saw that would have their faith shaken. It's all but physical proof that the Sanctus Scriptures are fiction.
You don't say.
However, we of the islands have done no better in upholding the truth of our past. With all my heart, I wanted to save our village. But all I did was sit and hope.
Lady Yufa.
I clung to my determination with such fervor. Perhaps without my noticing, it became a desire for atonement. The day you left, Adeni, even the night Father and Mother left this world, I could do naught but sit and wait and hope. I believed it was my role as priestess. If I had done anything at all to change it, perhaps we would not have faced such horrors.
You can do your changing now. After all, you're still alive, you've got years ahead of you, and you've got friends and family close. You needn't bear this alone.
We support her? Without the rite of sacrifice? Was that also depicted in the temple? Is that really the truth of the teachings?
Is that so difficult to understand? What matters the murals or the truth of the teachings? Do you believe the priestess fought out of tradition alone? She fought because she wanted to protect us. This village. She fought for you and I. Our lives and joys. Is that not enough reason to support her? You made good on your promise to save my sister. Words cannot express my thanks. But there is something that must finally be said. Yufa, I'm glad you chose life.
I think I understand now. It's not slaying monsters that gets rid of the melancholia. I think it goes away when we help people overcome their fear and anxiety.
Have to say, for the moment there, it looked like we'd have more dead than alive. But now they've got the lance, priestess, and the whole sodden village in their corner.
It's only relevant as far as it matters for Luis's sake, Baz. Remember, we're doing this for a world where your blood don't matter, long as you can fend for yourself.
Suppose, but what about them that can't fend for themselves? Like them village folk you helped save. Reminds me of that Glodell business too. They're tough enough that they don't need dirty tricks. If you challenged them, and they won fair and square.
Pack it in, Basilio. Our war may be quieter, but we're still fighting. Hesitate out there and you're dead.
Del.
So, that's the lance everyone's after. Don't suppose you could chuck it our way, young miss?
I wanted to discuss that. Unfortunately, I cannot let the lance leave my side. But to that end, what if I were to accompany you? The monster is gone, the Magla-made distortion is visibly fading from our lands, the threat looming over the island has passed. That said, if I am to be a warrior priestess, then I feel I must learn what the world is like beyond our borders. Besides, if you were to hold the lance, you would lose your powers of magic, which would be inconvenient.
Wait, we lose our magic powers?
Well, a flow of some protective magla surrounds you. Yet, when the lance nears you, it seems to dispel that magic. I can only assume it's one of Dracodios's powers.
Hold on. Protective Magla? You don't think she's talking about the king's magic?
What's come over you, Strode? You seem distraught.
Look, can I talk to you for a second? There's something I want to test with Dracodios. Did you all see that? This changes everything.
I'll say. I was wondering how a whole dragon's worth of Magla fit in such an ordinary-looking lance. Now I finally understand.
Your pardon, but might someone clarify?
He blocked it well enough, but the blow still landed. Our candidate was struck.
There's no doubt about it. This lance has the power to nullify the protection of the king's magic. That means, as long as you have this lance, any candidate can be killed. And if Luis knows that, it explains a lot.
Then I am well glad the brothers are not present to hear it. What a secret to have stumbled upon.
Maybe this is our chance. We can do what Grius couldn't, and this time, he wouldn't see us coming.
On our own this time.
But we're not the fledglings we were then. This time, we could do it right.
You would use it to take a life?
Yikes. We've been blabbing in front of Yufa.
Doesn't matter. We'll need it kept quiet that we know the lance is secret. And we can't ask that of her without giving a proper explanation.
I was the one who came asking to be included. No matter how heavy or grim your burdens, I would shoulder them alongside you.
Sheesh. Not much we can say when she puts it like that.
But how would such an assassination be enacted? Those brothers will make damn sure we turn the lance over.
A stealth mission's out. Last time there were hardly any guards about and we still barely managed to survive. I'd rather not push our luck.
We need some way to keep the lance and use it to strike Luis down. Well, Captain? Any ideas?
We could try convincing the brothers to join our side.
No, I don't think that one's realistic. I doubt even I could sway them.
We need some way to keep the lance and use it to strike Luis down.
How about we give him a fake lance?
There's a thought. After all, the lance has been shut up in a temple for ages. Not even Luis would know what the real one looks like.
It is an easy thing to say, but are we even capable of making such a replica?
If you just need a visual double whipped up, that's certainly within my repertoire, what?
Oh, good. We've got a certified craftsman on board. Have at it then. Give us a lance to turn heads.
Yufa, knowing what we want to do with the lance, are you sure you still want to stick with us?
I did not falter in choosing my fate as a sacrifice, and I will not falter in this. Please, tell me everything.
Well, settle in. It's a long story.
So the prince is alive?
I know His Highness can guide us to a brighter future. Laugh at my hopes if you wish, yet...
I do not know or love this prince as you do. But I can tell, by your faith, he is not one to cast others aside.
For now, we need to figure out when and where to ambush Luis. Treasonous bastard who cursed him.
Well, if we're going to trick him with a fake, there's only one answer. Saint's Day. The city will be chock full of relics by then. Perfect for a bit of cover.
'Tis the same day Luis plans to attack Forden. No doubt he has the same advantages in mind. The relics will be presented at Altabri's Grand Opera House, yes?
Well then, you could try it while I'm singing. Long as I'm on stage, I can keep everyone's eyes on me.
I suppose it is time I face my destiny as well, in the name of protecting my people. I've no doubt my understanding of life itself will be tested. All I can do is hope for your support in my journey. Time to go!
Not just the Lance, but now we've got Yufa herself. Things are looking up. Maybe you just draw people to you, like the prince did. Strange to think of an understanding of life, though. I get it. It's just not something I thought about until recently. You think a fairy could find any meaning in that?
I'm sure you can.
You're right. I want to believe that. With you on our side, I know we'll figure it out.
I will go tell my brother of my departure.
Then we shall rest at the inn. 'Tis altogether too cramped in these quarters.
Cramped spaces are the foundation of camaraderie, I say. Well, to each their own.
Now then.
No.
True.
Hold on.
Hey!
Hey there!
Hold on.
Most helpful. Apologies for the intrusion.
Something wrong, love? It's late.
My brother had already retired for the day, so I thought I'd wait for tomorrow to tell him. But now that I find myself alone with my thoughts, I'm quite nervous.
Think you'll be able to tell him yourself?
If I cannot even do that, there would be little point in leaving the island. He will understand. After all, he left long before I did. What is that book?
Oh, it's a fantasy novel. He's never without it.
A fantasy? But what is it a fantasy of?
It's a story about an ideal world.
Well, so you do not merely strive against evil. You have a vision for the world's betterment.
'Tis a world where all people are equal and no conflict exists.
In truth, 'tis difficult to envisage. All I have known is our own island's history and doctrine, and naught beyond it. So, well, would it be all right if I read some? Remarkable. Despite all the people share in common, the world is filled with myriad faiths and beliefs. Accordingly, those in search of spiritual meaning may seek and find many different teachings to guide them. I see. So the people of this world are free to believe as they will. Anyone may follow any god, any dogma.
So basically the opposite of the Sanctus Church.
Our legends say that the ancient world was full of all manner of beliefs too. The people of Eld worshipped many gods from many pantheons. People confronted the anxiety that haunted them.
Thinking back, Some of those figures in the temple murals may have been gods.
Yes. That mural depicting myriad gods is an explanation.
But ultimately, war claimed everything. Suppose that means it wasn't much of a utopia, right?
Perhaps freedom unchecked gave rise to conflict. Either way, to know the past is to ensure history does not repeat. If we are to create a utopia rooted in our world, faith is not enough. We must move onward and take action as allies, because I believe that's how this must be used. This power that guides us to ideals. To walk forward, firmly, fearing nothing.
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Look at this.
Your pardon?
Yufa, and the mainlanders. What is it?
Brother, I must speak with you. Until now, I have understood nothing. But it is not merely the teachings I failed to grasp. I did not understand Mother and Father's wishes, nor indeed your own. As the priestess, I am duty-bound to protect our village. And I would do so not with a weapon, but with understanding. Brother, please permit me to travel alongside these people.
Your own journey. I never thought I'd see the day you'd ask to leave.
I humbly plead on her behalf as well.
My own journey's end freed me from our customs. Perhaps, had I sought comrades and friends of my own to walk with, I would have found purpose. So be it. Go and see this world with your own eyes. As a parting gift, Yufa, I entrust this to you.
What is it?
Mother's Kakara. With this staff in hand, she would travel the lands beyond our shore, seeking to spread our teachings.
I did not know she'd left anything behind. I gladly accept.
I must ask, Yufa, what do you plan to call yourself, once off the island?
What do you mean? I am the priestess of Verga Island. Should I be called anything else?
Indeed. To outsiders, we are only the islanders. We have hardly named a land, much less our humble village. We once saw no need for a name. We had rejected the world outside for so long, we knew but two lands. Those within our borders, and those without. Now that the truth of our traditions has been restored, we may celebrate them. And in that spirit, I would like to name our village.
Our home will have a name?
By your efforts, there is no longer any doubt. The dragon god Et is our village's guardian deity. Thus, it seems only right to call it the home of the dragon god Et. Etria. One day, after years untold, I hope Etria will be a bustling town. People from far and wide will meet here. It will be worthy of its name. At least, that is my fantasy.
I think I found a world I want to be a part of. To that end, everyone, I look forward to our journeys together.
So, you're off to Altaberry. You'll have to watch for the tide, but you should arrive with plenty of time. If you have time yet to relax, our island home is humble, but I hope it is to your liking.
Well then.
How can it be?
Just lovely. Hey!
What now?